Jim Rooney.
I'm Jennifer Rooney.
And we're the owners of Heartland Contractors, and we're also the developers of Whisper Ridge. When we first looked at the land in Whisper Ridge, and the proximity to the city of Menominee and the fact that it had nearby utilities was important. The natural lay of the land makes it really a unique property in the city of Menominee. And so we had a vision right from the beginning that that could be a neighborhood that we think everybody in Menominee would really come to love.
The parks and the playgrounds and the walking trails, it really allows the neighborhood to feel like a community, a place where people get to know their neighbors.
The Prairie Park neighborhood is all multifamily, whereas Whisper Ridge is a nice balance between multifamily and single family. Prairie Park is the newest place for people to live in Eau Claire. We've taken all the features that people look for when they're buying a home and put them into a neighborhood like Prairie Park where they can rent. And the people want the same thing. They want a nice place to live, they want to feel safe, they want some outdoor spaces, they want walking trails. And we created that in Prairie Park, and that's the same feel that we're trying to accomplish by the amended plan in Whisper Ridge, where we can incorporate some of that with the single family.
Whisper Ridge and Willow Creek are both very similar because they have a similar mix of multifamily and single family. We've tried really hard to make that a good blend. Initially there was a little resistance from some of the neighbors and those in the single family homes about the multifamily, but I think that's been laid to rest as they've seen those plans come to fruition and seen those buildings being put up, which are really nice and are bringing in good quality people that they want to have as neighbors. So together they're really creating this community where they can all go out and enjoy the parks and the walking trails and this common green space together. And in that regard, we expect Whisper Ridge to be very similar to Willow Creek.
Right.
When we thought about these neighborhoods, we thought about the things that we enjoy as a family. And that's things like the parks, the walking trails, a place to go out and have a picnic and to barbecue, lots of green space. No one wants to be in a cluster where there's nowhere to go, there's nowhere to have that community feel. So that's really what we tried to create there.
My husband's name is Eric, and we have 2 children, ages 1 and 3. We moved here from North Dakota about a month and a half ago. We looked at the other locations. It just seemed like, compared to Prairie Park, the quality was so much better here. The units were really nice, modern, new. Seemed really quiet, seemed like a nice family neighborhood, something we really were looking for with our kids. There's a park across the street, which certainly helped bring a 1- and 3-year-old here. And they loved it from day one. They felt like they were at home. So it just seemed like a good all-around choice for our family. The waterfalls and the parks, the little ponds, just the layout is really nice. It's private. It's really a nice sense of community. Everything, the quality and everything is top-notch. It seems like there's just a lot of attention to detail here that this is definitely the kind of development a community should look to attract and should pay attention to when they're trying to attract young professionals and families.
Greg Hoffman, mayor of Chippewa Falls, approximately 5 years. Willow Creek, where you're putting these 8-unit apartment buildings is they're going to add, my belief is they're definitely going to add to the value of the neighborhood rather than detract from. I mean, they're very, very nice units, very attractive, and I think it'll be fairly easy for you to attract people to want to move in. I think that there's a real need for a development such as this. I think it adds to the, it attracts a different group of individuals that will come to the community. I would think it would be more professional type individuals that would relocate there. I have been in there a number of times. It's a very well laid out, very nicely designed, community. The other thing that we find here in Chippewa Falls is that I've heard from a number of manufacturers who are bringing people in from outside the city. The buzzword is we don't have the upscale apartments in Chippewa Falls. And I think, as an example with Willow Creek, I think the original intent of how the design, how it was laid out, can definitely be restructured, can be adapted to fit to today's needs. Even the best made plans have to be changed. And I think that's where sometimes people struggle because, well, this is what was structured back in 2005 or 2003, but things change. And I think as a community, you have to be flexible enough to look at things